We've all been there, right? Facing those huge, life-changing decisions that just feel impossible to figure out. Career, family, who you want to be. How do you even start to make sense of it all? Well, today, we're going to break down a really powerful way to find some clarity in all that chaos. This image just nails that feeling, doesn't it? It's like having a jumble of puzzle pieces rattling around in your head. Your job, your relationships, your future, and none of them seem to fit together. You might kind of know what you want, but the path to get there, it's a total fog. So that's the real question, isn't it? How do you go from feeling totally overwhelmed and stuck to actually moving forward with some real purpose? We're about to walk through a simple, but honestly, pretty powerful framework that can help you do just that. And to make this super real, we're not just going to talk about abstract ideas. Nope. We're going to follow the story of someone who actually used this framework to sort through his own choices. So let's meet Carlos. Carlos was an ESL student, and he felt completely stuck. But through just a few simple self-reflection exercises, he managed to reframe his entire life. His journey is an amazing roadmap that really any of us can follow to get that same kind of clarity. Okay, so where does a journey like this even begin? It starts by cutting through all the noise. It begins by finding your words, the core values that are going to act like your own personal compass. You know, we often start with this big universe of possibilities, this whole constellation of common values. Words like family, success, balance. And they're all important, of course, but they're also kind of general. The first real step is to get from these broad ideas to something that's deeply personal to you. And this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at what Carlos chose. Not success, but luck, quantifying my thinking, and intuition. See, these aren't just values, they're actions, they're processes. It's like his personal operating system for making decisions. Luck accepts chance, quantifying demands proof, and intuition trusts his gut. That's the goal. Find the words that really define how you operate. So, just take a second and think about it. If you had to boil everything down, right this minute, what 3 words would guide your decisions? They don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be permanent, but they have to be yours. This is where that clarity really starts to kick in. All right, so once you've found the words that guide you, the next step is to understand how you even got here. And this means connecting your past experiences to who you are in the present. And to do that, we're going to use a surprisingly powerful tool, grammar. I know, it sounds like we're back in English class, but just stick with me here. The present perfect tense, saying I have done this instead of just I did this, is way more than a grammar rule. It's a tool for your brain. It forces you to see something you did in the past, not as a closed-off event, but as something that is still shaping who you are right now. It's the bridge between then and now. And wow, this quote from Carlos just shows you the power of that bridge. By framing it this way, he had this huge realization. He wasn't just saying he tried to have a balanced life in the past. He was saying that because of that past effort, he now has had wasted time. He's connecting an old action to a present-day consequence. That's a massive, massive insight. So, you've found your guiding words, you've connected your past to your present. Now for the most exciting part. It's time to stop looking backward and start writing the next chapter. It's time to declare your future. This basically maps out the entire path for us. It's a totally logical progression, right? You start with your values, that's your compass. Then you figure out where you're standing by acknowledging your past. Those 2 steps give you the solid ground you need to confidently plan out where you're going next. Let's see how this all came together for Carlos. So here's where the framework hits the real world. Back in 2019, Carlos was just feeling stuck. Tired of his job, tired of the same old thing, no real hopes for the future. We've all been there. So he updated his resume, and then an opportunity popped up, an interview for a great job at a company super close to his home. But the interview showed him a huge gap. His English ability was, in his own words, 0. He didn't get the job. But here's the crucial part. Instead of seeing it as a failure, he saw it as a sign. He made one single clear decision: improve his skill. And that one choice, he says, changed his life. It gave him a new direction, a whole new story to write. And this brings us to the ultimate goal of this entire process. When you line up your core values, your past experiences, and your plans for the future, you don't just have a bunch of random choices. You have a mission. You have a purpose. This is the goal. It's about taking all that internal work, all that thinking and self-discovery, and turning it into something clear, simple, and actionable.
It's that leap from just thinking about it to actually doing something about it.
And this is what it all builds towards, a life mission statement. Think of it as your why written down. It's the key to finding your path, and it's built from your own unique experiences and your own values. It's not something somebody gives you, it's something you discover and declare for yourself.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. You don't need to have the whole thing figured out right now. Not at all. You just need a place to start. So based on everything we've talked about today, what's the first line of your mission?